Good evening and welcome to Spanish Fork High School for high school boys basketball here on Spanish Fork 17. It's the Maple Mountain Golden Eagles and the Spanish Fork Dons as they both kick off region play tonight. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst. And Chris, here we go for the start of high school basketball. And for both these teams, it's a new season tonight. You've had your non-region play, but now everybody's 0-0.
Yeah, for sure. We'll pause here for the national anthem in a minute, but both teams coming in looking to do some damage in region play. Spanish Fork 3-6 in non-region play, and Maple Mountain 5-4, and we'll pause here for the national anthem.
Well, we're set and ready to go here for starting lineups and opening tip coming up here very shortly. Chris, when you take a look at this matchup, always an exciting game with these two. These two kind of having some different seasons, but both trying to get things going in the right direction. Spanish Fork 3-6, Maple Mountain coming in 5-4.
Yeah, for sure. And for Maple Mountain, Matt Peterson, Bennett Everett, and Brogan Miles all scoring in double digits. So those will be the guys that Spanish Fork will want to key on. And on the other side of the ball, you got the Dons with three guys as well. Aaron Dunn averaging 16.5. Ethan Beckstead and Landon Leatherwood both averaging over 10 points a game. So could be an evenly matched up game. I think the RPI, just how things are going, you would expect Maple Mountain to come up with the victory, but I don't think it's so lopsided that we won't have a competitive ball game. And your Spanish Fork's definitely got a shot at the La Hacienda gym to pull up the upset tonight.
Maple Mountain has struggled here on the road at Spanish Fork, and if you've never been here, you'll see it as the game starts. Similar to to Springville in a lot of ways. The student section right on the floor, it's going to get loud in here tonight, and you have to be able to handle the pressure and that environment, and that's going to be something that's going to be kind of maybe a key to watch for tonight in this matchup, because when you take a look at it right here, oftentimes these kind of rivalry type games, Chris, it's not necessarily always a big play that turns it, but it's the crowd, the atmosphere. How do you handle that?
Yeah, for sure. And for Maple Mountain to combat the crowd, there isn't too many students that showed up that I can see. They might want to just hit a couple of big shots. And if your kids attend either one of these schools, we got to send them down here. We got to get the student body showing up. Now I'm guilty of that. I have a son that goes to Spanish Fork that's not here, so I need to be a better parent myself.
So as you see here, Spanish Fork just wrapped up their starting introductions. You see Aaron Dunn there, number 33. And Chris, you kind of talk about this. Foul trouble is going to be a key to kind of look for tonight. But when you have a player like Aaron Dunn at 6'8" there in the middle, that's a tough presence for Maple Mountain. The Golden Eagles aren't known necessarily of being a big team, but this is one of the bigger teams that head coach Johnny Averett has probably out on the floor.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of one of the local collegiate football teams, maybe you might want to make a donation to your collective to have Aaron Dunn show up at your high school or your university in a couple of years. Just a heads up, he's the #1 recruit in the class of 2025, and he gets the ball to start.
Inside, can't get it to go. Tips it back, though. Dunn can't get the second one to fall to come down, and there's going to be an early turnover, a traveling violation called there on 6'3" senior Ethan Beckstead. So Maple Mountain will get their first possession here with 7:38 to play here in the first quarter. No score.
Don's come out in his zone, looking to clog the middle. That's an opportunity for the Golden Eagles to hit some big threes.
Pulling it back out. Here's Matt Peterson. Draws the contact, puts up a shot, doesn't get the call. And back the other way comes Spanish Fort. Here is Ryan Olson, #5, over to Dunn. And here's Leatherwood. Leatherwood will pull it out. 23 on the shot clock for Spanish Fort. Here's Gage Christensen. He shoots up a three and hits. Big shot there from the sophomore Gage Christensen. And it's 3-0 Dons. Maple Mountain right back the other way. Peterson inside, and it's a turnover.
Travels. Shuffles the feet before he gets the shot up there that time for Peterson, but a 3-0 lead here. Good ball movement by Spanish Fort to start combating this man-to-man defense.
Back up top. Here's Leatherwood. A three on its way. This time for Gage Christensen. This time doesn't go. And Brogan Miles comes the other way for Maple Mountain. Bennett Averett had it. Now here's Brogan Miles, #2, down the lane, loses it. It's going to be last touch by the Dons.
Pretty good defense so far by the Dons, but both teams, playing some clean defense so far.
And there's a steal on the inbounds pass. It's tipped away right there by Gage Christensen. Dunn comes away with it, and he's got it up top. I would imagine the 6'8" Dunn, that's where Maple Mountain probably wants to keep him, Chris, is out on the perimeter.
You don't want him posting up. He gets good position. He's tough to battle, but Vance Winters.
There's Ethan Beckstead with the offhand there, gets it to go. And it's a 5-0 lead early for Spanish Fort.
What I was saying was, Vance Winters definitely has some size for Maple Mountain.
A nice pull-up jump shot there for Bennett Averett. And the Golden Eagles on the board.
Yeah, so far points have been at a premium. We'll see if the scoring picks up, but both teams being methodical and trying to get good shots. We haven't seen a whole lot happen in transition, a.k.a. turnovers into baskets.
There's one right there. Brogan Miles pokes it away. 1-on-2 the other way. Miles underneath the basket, but steps on the inline. Turnover. Ball back to Spanish Fort.
Yeah, Brogan Miles with his size 12s wishes they were just 11.5s.
That can be really tough, too, to kind of see as you're trying to drive there. You're focused on getting to the basket, and that inline there highlighted in black there at the bottom of your screen.
There's a little bit of a line on it, but it's still black.
Fadeaway jump shot there is good for Ryan Olson. And it's a 7-2 lead for Spanish Fort. Right back the other way. Winters inside. Back out to Brogan Miles. As Peterson with the reverse layup is good.
That was a great assist there that time, getting it to Peterson from Miles.
Beckstead with it up top. Here's Dunn, one of his first few touches in the post. He was working on those post moves in warm-ups. As he looks to fade away, steps inside, can't get the roll, and it's rebounded. We're going to have a jump ball. No, we're going to have a foul in the backcourt, and that's an Ethan Beckstead who's going to pick up the foul. That's our first of the game and the first on Beckstead.
That was a close one. Beckstead did, I believe, kind of hit the arm before he got the jump ball that time, and so 7-4 lead for the Dons, and they'll go back on defense.
Here's Brogan Miles back door. Couldn't get the finish there for Peterson on the look in the post. Spanish Fork looking to push the tempo. Ryan Olson in the corner, drops it into Dunn. Dunn, baseline, spins left, met by the double team, puts up the tough shot, and it's good.
Dunn averages nearly 17 a game. They like to get him in the post, and for good reason.
There's
got to travel.
Vance Winters right there getting called for the travel. Just shuffled the foot there on the jump stop. And Maple Mountain early struggling with the turnovers, Chris, and that's something right now that's kind of provided Spanish Fork here with an opportunity. Is we're going to see here we have, don't know if there was an issue at the shot clock or what, but they're going to end. Well, we're back underway. Okay.
Ref wanted to say something. They said, no, we're going to play on, and that's where we're at.
Back up top. Here's Leatherwood down the lane. Finds Beckstead in the post. Leatherwood for three. It's going to be blocked. Tip. Justin Carlisle got a piece of it, number 11 for Maple Mountain.
Yeah, great block by Carlisle. Great hustle.
Brogan Miles to the basket. The ball gets deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Dons. So Maple Mountain will inbound from underneath their own basket. Maple Mountain in the all black, Spanish Fork in the all white. Up to the top. Here's Miles. He drops it in. And that one just mishandled right there. I believe that was Peterson. Or that was Vance. No, that was Peterson. He just kind of bobbled it there out of bounds.
Well, if you're Coach Johnny Everett, you got to yell at your team, hey, let's at least give ourselves an opportunity. Let's get a shot off because they've just been turning it over on the baseline.
Ryan Olson right here. Here's a three on its way. Gage Christensen hits for the second time here in the quarter. And Spanish Fork leads 12-4 here in the first quarter.
Yeah, sophomore has a nice looking shot. He's taken 3 attempts, 2 have went in.
We're going to have our first subs of the game for Maple Mountain. Easton Merrill, number 0, and Colton Marker, number 4, will check in. So right now, Maple Mountain may be trying to change things up a little bit. 3:16 to play here in the first quarter. You're watching high school basketball on Spanish Fork 17. That one's thrown in the backcourt, almost stolen. Gage Christensen there got a pretty good jump on it, but Miles comes away with it for the Golden Eagles.
And it's been a minute since I've seen Spanish Fork's basketball team play, but Christensen wasn't playing when we last saw him play at against Logan as Merrill hits the 3.
A big shot there from Easton Merrill coming off the bench here for Maple Mountain. Here's Dunn against Merrill inside, goes up and can't finish. Ball's tipped out of bounds though, last touched by, they're going to say Merrill.
Dunn has missed 3 little hoppers near the basket so far. If not, this game would be out of control. Instead, Dunn only has 2 points and is really struggling from the field, but he's getting great looks. So let's assume they'll fall later on.
Brock Jacobson checking in for the Dons for the first time, wearing number 21. Here's Dunn on the perimeter. He's thinking about shooting the 3, and now he'll pass it over right now over to Landon Leatherwood. Dunn in the high post. Back to Leatherwood around the screen. Pull-up jump shot is off the backboard, can't go. We're going to have a foul in the backcourt, and I think, Chris, they're going to get that one on Jacobson.
Brock Jacobson picks up his first foul, second foul of the quarter.
No fouls yet for Maple Mountain. 2 fouls here in the quarter for the Dons.
Yeah, nobody's in real trouble of hitting that 5-foul bonus limit.
Out on the perimeter, Merrill hit one earlier. He'll take this one and hits. Easton Merrill 2 for 2, and just like that, Chris, with back-to-back threes, it's a 2-point game, 12-10 Dons.
Yeah, and Merrill has 60% of the points here for the Golden Eagles. As Dunn says, why not?
And Dunn able to answer on the other end for a big 3, and then the ball's going to go out of bounds, stays here with Maple Mountain.
A great hustle by Brock Jacobson knocking that out.
Austin Weeks, number 2, will check in here for the Dons.
Some pretty clean basketball as of late for the Golden Eagles. They had a bunch of turnovers early, but they've seemed to have cleaned that up a little bit.
Tate Robinson, number 10, will check in for Maple Mountain. That will give Brogan Miles a little bit of a break. And that one's thrown away off the hands and stolen. Here's Austin Weeks backing down, and he's going to have it poked away by Robinson, who just checked in. So pretty much offsetting turnovers. Maple Mountain basketball with 1:32 to play in the quarter.
Yeah, we'll expunge that from the record and move on.
Drops it inside. Here's Peterson. Passes it in the corner. Pull-up jump shot is off. That one was by Colton Marker. And Spanish Fork going the other way.
Spanish Fork probably needs to slow it down as we get a carry. Old carry there. You don't see that called too often, and it seems like it used to be called a lot back in the day, but anymore you have to probably put your hand completely underneath the ball and move it, and that apparently was the case for Leatherwood.
And Chris, you mentioned it right there. You said, hey, Spanish Fork needs to slow down a bit, and that's kind of what happens sometimes. You start going too fast.
Yeah, I think Maple Mountain probably wants to play an up and down game. Spanish Fork wants to go fast when they can, but play smart.
Matt Peterson hits a three. The senior right there makes it a one-possession game, 15-13.
Got Peterson with 5.
Jacobson out of control, but he's going to get bailed out by a foul right there. And maybe not out of control, but...
Is that Colton Marker they're going to get that one on? Or was that... No, yep, it was Marker.
Johnny Averett pleading his case because Jacobson just kind of put his head down, went to the basket there, and I think Johnny Averett trying to say, hey, what's my defender supposed to do?
Oh, the old pass at the feet.
A good look from Mansfield there, but...
Yeah, Mansfield tried to get to Leatherwood that time, and just a bad placement.
Love the idea, love the thought there if you're Spanish Fork. Here's Merrill back out. 3 on its way for the lead, and that one is long. Rebound tipped around, and somehow Matt Peterson comes away with it. That'll reset the shot clock.
Yeah, well, the shot clock's
off as that one's turned over. Jacobson, and he's going to have it knocked out of bounds by Merrill, but it will stay here with Spanish Fork with 16 and a half to go in the quarter. Aaron Dunn will check back in.
And Jacobson needs to dribble that instead of his right hand with his left hand and use his body to shield.
Back up at the top. Here is Landon Leatherwood. Leatherwood with it, number 4. Gets it to Dunn. 2 seconds on the shot on the game clock here. Dunn at the horn. This one is short, and that's how the quarter will end. A back and forth quarter, but the Dons lead at the end of one. 15-13. You're watching high school basketball on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
High school basketball here on Spanish Fork 17. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst. Welcoming you back here for quarter number 2. Chris, an up and down, back and forth first quarter. And right now, Spanish Fork holds a close 2-point lead, 15-13.
Yeah, and they kind of were led that quarter by Gage Christensen and his 2 threes that he hit. And Easton Merrill countered on the other side for Maple Mountain with 2 threes, and it's anybody's ball game as we start the second quarter.
So Maple Mountain will have the ball to start right here in the second quarter. As Robinson, number 10, has the basketball right here. Robinson picks it up. Here's Matt Peterson with the number 23. Goes around the screen. 3 on its way for Merrill. That one hits the side iron and clanks off. Back the other way comes Spanish Fork.
Yeah. Spanish Fork gets it into Dunn, and that's a good idea.
Dunn against Merrill right there. And Merrill got a lot of the ball, but they're going to get him for a foul.
It looked like he had his arm as well. Just the second foul by Maple Mountain in the game, first in the quarter. Both. Usually what happens, Ryan, is that we see very few fouls in a half, and then the next half there's like a million. Dunn's got 6 now with another free throw pending.
So Dunn will get set here for the second free throw here of the 2. As he's ready to go. And the second one on its way is long. Rebound pulled down right here by Bennett Everett.
Yeah, Everett brings the ball up.
So 16-13. Maple Mountain with the basketball. Back up top. Here's Easton Merrill. And we're going to have a turnover. Travel there against Easton Merrill.
Didn't see it. That one was interesting. Wonder if Merrill took a step, then took a step to pass.
7:11 to play here in the first half. 16-13, and we're going to have an offensive foul.
That's going to be on Jacobson. He set a great screen, just not a legal one.
That is his second, so I think he's the first one to get to 2. And with 7:03 to play, Maple Mountain with the basketball.
How many points have we had in this quarter? 1 so far, Ryan. It's off to a little bit of a slow start.
Might be playing in the 40s tonight, Chris. Who knows?
That was on our first broadcast with the girls' game.
3-point jump shot. This one's long. Offensive rebound pulled down by Matt Peterson. He goes up, can't get it to go. And then Austin Weeks pulls the rebound for Spanish Fort.
Yeah, Spanish Fort needs to move it around, get a good shot as we Dunn lifts up his pivot foot, puts it back down, gets called for the travel.
Well, Chris mentioned the good first quarter Gage Christensen was having. Well, the 6'1" sophomore will check back in.
Yeah, came off the bench and was hot as a firecracker on the 4th of July.
Bennett Everett with the basketball, goes around the screen. Gets it over to the corner. Here's Robinson. He tries to drive baseline. Not much there. 18 to shoot on the shot clock. Ball's kind of poked away. And here comes Spanish Fort. Looking to push that lead up to as many as 6 with a 3, 5 with a 2. Here's Weeks, guarded by Robinson.
Yeah, Spanish Fort's weaving around the perimeter, looking to get it possibly inside to Dunn or an open look for a 3.
Here's Dunn working back to his right, goes up. He's going to be fouled underneath.
And that's
right here.
That's Merrill's second, I believe. But the problem is Dunn's just too big for Merrill to guard.
Merrill listed on the roster, 6'2", 180. On the other side, Aaron Dunn, 6'8", 290. And Dunn hits the first.
And Dunn, he's been playing for a couple of years now. He's made a lot of improvements, especially the previous season to last season with his footwork, and he's continued to improve upon that. So he's a great threat for the Dons down low. Just needs to hit a higher clip from the free throw line.
Matt Peterson pulls the rebound and back the other way. Here comes here comes Maple Mountain. Here's a 3 in the corner. That one is long. Rebound pulled down by Gage Christensen.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes in, and we've only got 2 Aaron Dunn free throws to show for it on the scoreboard.
Weeks goes to the basket, but they're going to call a foul on the ground. That would be the 13th foul right here. This one against, I believe it's going to go against Robeson, his first. So that's the 13th foul with 5:29 to play. So just a couple away from free throws the rest of the way. Here's a 3 from Gage Christensen off the inbounds pass, and that one's good.
Yeah, Christensen's got 9 out of the 20 points, all from behind the 3-point line, and he's just a sophomore.
Here's a 3 on the other end, and that one is good. Bennett Everett, the senior, buries one from deep.
Just the second bucket of the game. Everett's got 5. Ooh.
As Christensen loses his feet as he goes to the basket, and that'll be a turnover. Ball back to Maple Mountain.
He's going to have a nice rash somewhere on his body after that. That didn't look pretty.
So coming back in, Vance Winters for Maple Mountain, Ethan Beckstead for Spanish Fort. I think both teams getting back to the starters right here. That one's almost poked away. Ball is loose.
How's that not a foul, though?
As Miles just picks it up, and I think he was trying to pass it, but it went off, I believe, the face there of Ryan Olson.
Ryan Olson's going to pick up a foul.
They're going to say, I think they're going to say he held him.
But there was a foul. It was just a little bit earlier on Gage Christensen.
First foul there against Ryan Olson, second team foul, as they make sure they got the right spot here for the inbound. Here's Bennett Averett. Brogan Miles with it now, goes around kind of a double screen. They'll set it up for Averett for three, and that one's good. Assist to Brogan Miles, and Averett back-to-back triples.
He's got all 6 points in the quarter for the Golden Eagles of Maple Mountain. They cut it to 1.
And there's going to be a turnover forced by Maple Mountain. Here's Miles with it. He goes to the basket, goes up. They're going to call a foul. Boy, from my vantage point here, looked like he got mostly ball, but there it's going to go against Ethan Beckstead.
And that'll send Brogan Miles, who averages 12.5 a game, but has so far 0 points.
He'll look to get his name in the scorebook here with a free throw. Chance to tie this one up at 20, and he misses the first. 4:24 to play before halftime, a 20-19 lead for the Dons. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst with you. Second free throw is good, so we're tied at 20.
A lot of work to get to a tight score. Yeah, Spanish Forks led most of the way.
In the corner, here's Landon Leatherwood, drops it into Dunn. Back out Leatherwood, back into Dunn. Dunn's going to be doubled from the backside, but he's able to hold the ball right there. And we're going to have a foul on the ground right here. And I believe
Tate Robinson, with that one.
That's his second. 4th team foul, so one more against Maple Mountain, and the Dons are in the bonus the rest of the half.
Yeah, we had no real foul issues in that first quarter. Second quarter is a different story.
Here's Dunn against Winters inside. Going to the middle, puts it up over Winters, can't get it to go. Peterson pulls the rebound.
It just feels like Aaron Dunn's a little bit off on his shot today, but has plenty of time to pick up the pace.
Here's Brogan Miles out on the perimeter, drives to the left, back out. Bennett Averett for three. That one is off, but the rebound is tipped right into the hands of Winters for the layup.
And Beckstead was held on that rebound that time, and was that Peterson with the bucket or Winters?
Winters had the bucket. I think Peterson actually tipped it.
Tipped it, all right.
Here's Beckstead. That one there on the hook shot doesn't go. Winters with the board. Averett gets it over. Winters pops a three. That one's off the glass and good.
So we got Winters with 5 points, back-to-back buckets, and causes enough issues that we get a timeout. And let's take a look at our sponsors, Ryan.
We have our sponsors here tonight on Spanish Fork 17. We got Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 2 Jack's Pizza, and MVP Sports. We thank them for making this broadcast possible. MVP Sports moving locations.
Yeah, they're moving to 82 East, 900 North. They open up on January 8th, so go take a look at that new location.
Now you're going to have to remind me, Chris, what's around there that they're moving? Is that over kind of by Costco?
I'm going to have to get on Google Maps.
Okay. I was trying to figure that out.
I think it's one of those small industrial areas probably in the area you're talking about. It's by Cal Ranch.
Oh, okay. But out there by Cal Ranch. So if you're looking for your sportswear, as that one's going to be thrown away, a turnover by Spanish Fork. And Maple Mountain's kind of upped the pressure, and now that they're getting some shots to fall, Chris, you can kind of see that they're in a position right here for the next 2 minutes and 51 seconds is really big for the Dons.
Dons have to get a stop. All the momentum has went the way of Maple Mountain as of late.
And we're going to get a foul here on Ryan Olson. I think they're going to say he grabbed the jersey as Bennett Averett was coming around the screen there.
So both teams will be shooting the rest of the way in this quarter if we get any more fouls, that is.
Brogan Miles, the senior point guard, about to inbound the basketball, and that one's going to go out of bounds. Turnover.
Ball don't lie. No, I don't know. Didn't think the last one was a foul, so 25-20. This game was tied up 20-20 just a minute ago, and then Winters caught fire for Maple Mountain.
Here's a three. Gage Christensen can't get it to go, but Ethan Beckstead pulls the board. Landon Leatherwood, baseline drive, and he turns it over. That was down by us, Chris. Like, we spotted that almost immediately.
Yeah, we're up here in the crow's nest and had a great view of that, and it looked like he might have taken a step too early, too, when he started dribbling as well. I mean, needed to dribble earlier.
Going around the screen right here, Bennett Averett. He drives, kicks it in the corner. Three on its way is good, and that is buried by Justin Carlisle.
Carlisle puts his name in the papers with 3 points now.
It's an 8-point Golden Eagle lead. Dunn double teamed out to Ryan Olson. That one is long, and we're going to have a foul, and this one's going to go against Aaron Dunn, and I believe, Chris, that might be his second.
I've got him with one.
That's his first. I couldn't remember.
It's a shooting foul. Dunn, I don't know. You got 4 guys going for the rebound. Dunn just happens to be the size of the other 3 Maple Mountain guys, so he picks up the foul. That's what it looked like to me. But everybody, I think, was playing hard. That's a tough one. So Maple Mountain can get a double-digit lead, except they missed the free throw.
And that's the thing, Chris. I mean, that's a tough call if you're Spanish Fork, as checking back in will be Tyson Mansfield.
Maple Mountain has 15 points in the quarter. Spanish Fork only has 5. Spanish Fork's got to figure out how to manufacture some buckets.
Winters at the line for the second one is going to rattle off the rim, and it's rebounded by Gage Christensen. Minute 50 to go here in the second quarter. Here's Dunn going inside. Double team, goes up, can't get it to go, and the rebound is tipped and controlled right now by Bennett Averett.
Yeah, Winters didn't look to be straight up and down, but Dunn didn't draw the call either way.
Here's Carlisle, free throw line. That one may have gotten partially blocked, or at least affected, but nonetheless, it's out of bounds to the Dawn, so it couldn't have been blocked.
If it wasn't blocked, it went out at a weird trajectory. I'll tell you that right now. Probably should be Maple Mountain's ball.
Back up at the top. Here's Landon Leatherwood.
Foot's on the line.
A long 2 there for Weeks, and that one was short. Pass goes down the sideline, mishandled, out of bounds to the Dons with 1:09 to play right here. And you really, if you're Spanish Fork, you're probably getting right now 2 possessions. That is if the whole shot clock is used. You really need to get at least a bucket, maybe hopefully 2 buckets here.
The high school 2 for 1.
As they're around a late foul call there as Dunn made his move there into the post. And that will go right there against, I believe, Brogan Miles.
Dunn has 2 out of the 5 points in this quarter, and they've all came from the free throw line. And they gave that to Miles, it looks like.
One thing Maple Mountain's done a great job of, as Dunn gets the first one to rattle home, is Aaron Dunn's going to get his points, but they've done a great job of making it very difficult on Dunn. Oftentimes having 2, sometimes 3 guys come as he goes up to shoot.
Yeah. I think our halftime show might be a little bit Gotham themed tonight, Ryan, just a little foreshadowing.
For sure, we'll have to wait and see, but that would definitely make sense from what I'm seeing off to my left. 48 seconds to play in the quarter. Bennett Averett can't get it to go. Rebound's tipped around, but it's caught out of bounds.
Yeah. I can't see the number. Is that 23? That's Peterson. Peterson hasn't scored in the quarter. They haven't needed him to, as they've been able to put up 15. But Spanish Fork, they want another shot. They're going to have to go quick. If not, this could be their last shot of that.
Here's Mansfield with it. Guarded tightly. Weeks gets it on the screen, goes around, tries to reverse it, but it's blocked by Winters. Spanish Fork will keep it. Done at the top of the key. In the lane, finds Weeks, cutting back door for the layup.
Yeah, Weeks with his first bucket of the game. Cuts the lead to 4.
Down to 12 seconds to play here in the half. Shot clock turned off. Maple Mountain likely to hold for the final shot right here. In the high post, here's Winters. Carlisle with it. And he loses it, and that is how the first half will come to an end. We've reached halftime here at Spanish Fork. 28-24, Maple Mountain on top of the Dons. You're watching high school basketball on Spanish Fork 17.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
to the court as they are presented their championship rings and state banner. The members of the team are Avery Sapp, Ellie Olson, Paige Pierce, Peyton Hall, Embry Pinter, Tatum Hall, Taylor Reed, Lucy Evans, Olivia Carroll, Alice Archuleta, Shelby Shepard, Jade Romero, Riley Everett, Audrey Overturf, Bailey Smith, Leah Higginson, Brinkley Zeman, and Savannah Staley. We are coached by Natalie Jarvis, Kayla Jones, Jess Seifert, Whitney Carson, and Sarah Phillips. In addition to the state championship, we would like to recognize Avery Sapp and her accomplishment as a two-time Gatorade Player of the Year. We are so proud of these girls and grateful for the way they represent our school and community. Congratulations, 2023 Lady Dons softball team.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
High school basketball here on Spanish Fork 17. It's a 28-24 lead for Maple Mountain at the half. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst. And Chris, I mean, we had a back and forth first half for sure. The type of game you may expect from the number 5 team in the RPI. But if you're Spanish Fork, you have to be happy with the way you played in the first half right now just to be down by 4. Because they had some moments, Chris, where they weren't able to find a bucket. That's one thing they're going to have to do better in the second half.
I think this game could be in favor of the Dons, but Aaron Dunn is getting some good looks down low. He's a mammoth of a man. Or a boy, I don't know what he is, but either way, he's 290 pounds, and he just missed some easy shots in the paint. He's got 9 though. He did hit 4 free throws. If they can get Dunn going, I think Spanish Fork's got a shot. On the other side though, Ryan, if Everett or Miles, Carlisle, Peterson gets hot from the three-point line, could be lights out for Maple Mountain. So, or lights out for Spanish Fork, because Maple Mountain will just hit them with the 3. So a little bit of contrasting styles here. It's just interesting to see which one wins out in the second half.
And it's definitely interesting to kind of see right here as we take a look at this. Chris, we have the Region 7 standings right here.
It's a lot of 5 and 4.
A lot of 5 and 4 at the end of the preseason. And, I mean, really, what's going to happen over the next about 12 to 14 games is going to dictate what happens. Maple Mountain right now in a great spot RPI-wise, but there's going to be some difficult matchups. That's an Orem team that's playing very well.
Yeah.
That's a Springville team that's always prepared, not to include some of the others that I haven't seen much yet of this year. But, I mean, that's a tough region.
I think it's really going to be a close region. I don't think anybody's going to run away with it. And there's there's a ton of teams. There's 8 teams, so they're going to play a lot of region games this season. We don't have, it's been 6 or 7 teams. This time there's going to be, I believe, 14 games. And so, yeah, and Maple Mountain, if we can get the RPI, I think they're 5th or 7th, somewhere like that, in the RPI in Spanish Forks, down towards the bottom at 22. So that's the game we got, even though we got a lot of 5 and 4 teams. At the end of the day, the RPI is what matters for the standings right now. Maple Mountain's in a good spot. They just need to keep winning, and both teams have lost a lot of close games.
If you look at this, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 18, 19, 22. To kind of go along with your point, Chris, this is why one of the reasons why you think it's going to be a very close region. When you look at that, 5 of the top 10 all reside within Region 7.
Yeah.
So we'll see here. 8 minutes on the clock. We're set and ready to go for quarter number 3 here
But one quick comment. Credit the teams for playing difficult non-scheduled games. That's the one thing I noticed is we got a turnover to start it off.
Right there, a turnover. Maple Mountain will get the basketball. And that's the thing, right? I mean, in an RPI-type system, you want to play, and you kind of touched on it, Chris, and we've talked a lot about this during football. You want to be in a position where when you learn that RPI and how it works and how to schedule, not always the team with the best record sits at the top, as that 3 is short and the rebound pulled down by Ethan Beckstead.
The difference between basketball and football is I think basketball, there is enough time for the true teams to get enough games in against common opponents to kind of figure it out, if that makes sense. Football, it's tough. You get 8, 9 games.
Right there, as you see Bennett Averett, going to the basket there. That one gets rejected.
Yeah, we had a Batman performance by the drill team. Bennett Everett looked like Batman flying through the air there.
Here's Brogan Miles, number 2 up at the top. Averett goes to the basket, now drops it back. Here's Winters, right hand, too strong. Rebound pulled down by Beckstead.
Great look.
Great idea and good thought, but it turns into a turnover on the other end by Gage Christensen.
Gage Christensen lost his balance, forgot where he was, and just threw that one up for grabs.
Rebound pulled down inside by Winters, goes right back up with it.
Winters has had a couple of good looks. He needs to finish those.
And yet, after all that action, Chris, in the first minute 10, it's still a 4-point game, 28-24.
It's kind of how the second quarter started as well, as we got our first foul.
We'll see here who they're going to get.
11?
It's going to be Carlisle, number 11.
I think his first.
First team foul, and Landon Leatherwood will set to inbound here for Maple Mountain. Dunn back at the top. Here's Leatherwood around the screen. Here's a 3 for Ryan Olson. This one hits the front of the iron, won't go down, and the rebound is pulled down by Matt Peterson, who had a relatively quiet first half for Maple Mountain. We'll see if he gets some extra touches here to start quarter 3.
Yeah, he had 5. The leading scorer was Everett.
Here's Winters, deep 3. That
with
one hits
8 for Maple Mountain.
Hits long. Maple Mountain gets it back. There's a driving layup, and that one is down right there for Bennett Averett. He may have taken an extra step.
Well, he's got 10 points, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Dunn straight up and straight down for 2.
And Dunn now leads all scorers with 11. Gage Christensen and Dunn have both had 9 at the half.
And we're going to have a foul here, I believe, on Aaron Dunn.
That's his second one.
I think they're going to say away from the ball, and he was kind of pushing, and there was a push.
It doesn't take much for him to move bodies.
Brogan Miles set to inbound.
And with Dunn, one of the interesting things is he's a big guy, so he burns a lot more energy throughout the game. We'll have to see if fatigue becomes a factor.
Brogan Miles from deep. That one's good. It's a 33-26 lead for Maple Mountain.
And Miles now has 5 points in the game.
And there on the other side, it looks like
4.
Looks like Miles just didn't move the feet quite fast enough there. That will be his second personal. And that's the second team foul against Maple Mountain. And there we're going to have a turnover. Leatherwood, I think they're going to say he stepped out of bounds when he received the pass there from Dunn.
Well, you got to know just where you're at on the court at all times.
Maple Mountain by 7, 5:36 to play here in the third quarter. Brogan Miles with it to the basket, goes up, and he's going to be fouled. And he's going to get a pair at the line, and I think that may have been Aaron Dunn.
It's 3.
And Brogan Miles will go to the line to shoot a pair, and that's
5:32.
This is where that's going to test Garrett Johnson.
Risky proposition. They're going to bring in Mansfield to replace Dunn.
First free throw is good as the 6'2 senior Tyson Mansfield pops off the bench here as Miles hits the first. A chance to push it out to a 9-point lead right here with this free throw, and that one's good. I think that matches the largest lead of the night for Maple Mountain.
And Miles now has 5 points in the quarter to lead all scores in the quarter. Yeah, Maple Mountain looks a lot more comfortable in this second half.
Here's Landon Leatherwood, deep three. That one was short. Rebound pulled down by Peterson. Beckstead came flying in to try to tip that one back in. Here's Bennett Averett left open in the corner, and he hits. And Maple Mountain now leads by 12.
And Spanish Fork's big offensive weapon is on the bench, and so that'll force the timeout.
Timeout called right there by Spanish Fork. 5:04 to play here in the third quarter. Let's take a moment here on Spanish Fork 17 to thank our sponsors.
Yeah, we got Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, 2 Jacks Pizza, Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, who normally sponsors our keys to the game, but we're going to say our big key is to score more points than the other team. And then MVP Sports, who is moving to 82 East, 900 North, not too far from Cal Ranch, and that move takes place on January 8th, so we'll go out there to the new store. And next week, we got the Skyhawks flying over from Salem Hills to take on the Dons here at La Hacienda. I plan on being here, Ryan, and we'll probably give you the week off if that's all right.
You know, every now and then it's nice to have a week off. Salem Hills and Spanish Fork, that's always a good game.
Yes,
with that one there, so we'll see what they do.
Skyhawks have been winning that series as of late, but man, you go to a game at Salem Hills, that gym is the loudest gym that I can recently remember going to.
It's a loud environment. They really support their school very well, as Spanish Fork has the basketball with Leatherwood at the top. Here's Ryan Olson. 12-point lead, 38-26. Out, here's a three for Leatherwood. That one's good, a big shot for Spanish Fork. They needed something, and a three is just what the doctor ordered there.
Leatherwood averages 10 points a game. That's his first bucket of the game.
But Averett on the other end hits to tie it as well, and it's back to a 41-29 lead.
Everett's got 16.
Leatherwood, that one was short, but he's going to be fouled, it looks like. It's not going to be on the shot. I think it's on the rebound. Nope, I take that back. It's going to be against Peterson, his first, third team foul, but it's not a shooting foul, so Spanish Fork will inbound the basketball from underneath their own basket.
Yeah, Spanish Fork's had 5 points in this quarter. Maple Mountain already 13.
Here's Gage Christensen, drives, left hand, that one's long. Tip in by Beckstead, won't go, and it's pulled down by Brogan Miles. Miles into the front court, leaves it inside as Carlisle was kind of battling for it, but they're going to get a foul, I think, on Mansfield here, and it will be on Mansfield. That's his third. Or sorry, his first third team foul.
Usually I miss one foul, not 2 fouls when I'm trying to keep track. You made me question my existence for a second, Ryan.
You know me, Chris. I struggle with the math. 1 plus 1,
equals 5.
Yep. Sometimes 3, you never know.
Yeah.
Back at the top, here's Brogan Miles for Maple Mountain, number 2 with the basketball.
Yeah, Maple Mountain has come out like gangbusters, especially Bennett Averett, who had the ball and then kind of lost it. It's not been the prettiest possession for Maple Mountain, but we'll see if they can come away with a bucket.
6, they got to put something up here. Peterson from deep. Hits from 3. It's 44-29.
That's 5 threes. in the quarter.
And it's now a 15-point lead for Maple Mountain.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that Spanish Fork had to be worried about is Maple Mountain's ability to hit threes in bunches, and that has happened.
Back at the top, here's Leatherwood on the drive. Inside, that one's going to be thrown away. Here's Brogan Miles coming back. He nearly throws it away, gets it out to Averett. Hill thought about the three, finds Merrill inside, reverse layup, good.
And even when Maple Mountain makes a bad decision, they quickly atone for it and get a quick bucket as Everett was stuck in the air and got lucky to find Merrill that time, who gets a bucket, and he's got 8.
Gage Christensen can't hit from deep, and that one out of bounds to Maple Mountain with 2:53 to play. And now Garrett Johnson really in a point, Chris, with no choice but to bring Aaron Dunn back in with 3. A good rest right there, but now needs the offense on the floor.
And Spanish Fork has to stop this run. They've got to make a run of their own. If they can get this to about 10, 12 points at the end of the quarter, they still have a shot.
Miles past Gage Christensen, lays it in for 2. And it's now out to a 19-point lead for Maple Mountain.
Yeah, Miles quickly's got up to 8 points now. Didn't have much in the first.
Here's Leatherwood on the drive, kicks it out. 3 on its way, and Christensen this time is good from the corner. A big shot right there to make it 48-32.
Yeah, big shot. Gage has 4 threes on the night.
Pull up 3 on its way. Miles can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Bennett Averett. Averett gets it over to Peterson on the wing. Here's Easton Merrill. He thought about it once, thought about it again. On the drive, Merrill on the perimeter here. Down through the baseline, right hand. That one falls right off the rim and in.
Who got that one right?
That was Easton Merrill.
Easton Merrill with the big bucket.
Back the other way.
He's got 10 himself.
And we knew that Maple Mountain, they have guys that can score in double figures. As Christensen, a nice back cut there, and the layup good for Gage Christensen. Here's Merrill from deep. That one is going to hit all sides of the rim and backboard, but won't go down. Weeks dribbling into the front court for Spanish Fork. He'll pull it out. Spins down the lane, right hand, foul, count the basket.
Nice take.
It's a very tough play for Austin Weeks, but he finds a way to get it to go.
Yeah, Weeks waved off down at the top. Dunn's like, throw me the ball. He's like, no, I got this, bro.
Tate Robinson will check back in for Maple Mountain.
Is the expression hold my swig soda, is that what we do here in Utah?
I'm unfamiliar with that one, Chris, but that one is good as Brock Jacobson, number 21, checks back in for the Dons. That could be a lingo, Chris.
Well, I'll tell you what the lingo is in this quarter. Maple Mountain, 22 points, been dominant, been shooting the ball well from outside.
Bennett Averett for 3. That one's good.
That young man has 11 in the quarter, 20 in the game. 19 in the game.
Dunn in the low post. Guarded by Peterson. Spins to his left hand, count the basket and the foul. Aaron Dunn a chance for a 3-point play.
Getting back to the Everett's a big basketball name in Mapleton and Springville. They dominated always an Everett on the team when I was in high school and quite a few years before I was in high school. Johnny, one of them, the coach for Maple Mountain, so it's exciting to see the next generation balling out.
Dunn misses the free throw. Rebound tipped around, but pulled down by Peterson for Maple Mountain. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter.
Backcourt violation.
Turnover right there. Leatherwood playing very close defense right there. I think Brogan Miles wanting an explanation right there of what happened, talking to one of the officials.
I guess they need to explain how the center court works.
Here is Austin Weeks, number 2, with the basketball, guarded by Robinson. Dunn at the top of the elbow there. Goes around the screen, now comes back on the give and go. Dunn inside, powers his way to the basket for the layup.
Yeah, Spanish Fork just needs to do that every time. That looked easy. Good movement, good setup into that play. And when Dunn's on the move, he does pretty well. I think some of the problems is they'll slowly pass it into the paint, and that's when Dunn has struggled tonight.
And right here, you talked about, Chris, trying to narrow that gap. Spanish Fork has done that. They've got it from 19 to 12, as that one is no good. Rebound, pulled down, and right back up on the jump shot for Colton Marker. That one can't go. A second and a half left. Weeks for three, and there's a turnover, a travel. A pretty good shot there from Austin Weeks, but the turnover will nullify that shot. And now with 0.4 of a second, Chris, on the clock, Maple Mountain will get the basketball back.
Yeah, but as you mentioned, great job by Spanish Fork cutting that lead to 12. It's going to be tough to overcome, but it's possible.
As Maple Mountain, a last-second look there inside, and that will end the third quarter. We head to the fourth after the break. Maple Mountain 53, Spanish Fork 41. You're watching high school basketball, Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
Started quarter number 4 on Spanish Fork 17. Ryan Pickens alongside Chris Hurst. We have a 12-point ball game right now as Maple Mountain right there and Johnny Averett and company lead 53-41. Spanish Fork, Chris, isn't out of it, but they need some stops and they need consistent scoring possessions.
Yeah, they also need to figure out how to stop Bennett Everett. Bennett Everett had 11 points in that third quarter, has 19 in the game, including 5 threes. 15 points off threes. He's hit a couple of twos to go on with that. And also Easton Merrill for Maple Mountains in double digits. On the other side, we got Gage Christensen with 14 and Aaron Dunn with 15 for Spanish Fork. So see if Spanish Fork can continue to make a run to cut into this lead, or if Maple Mountain just decides to get it done with.
Here's Easton Merrill over in the corner. Back up top, Carlisle on the drive. And we're going to have a turnover here. Easton Merrill called for traveling to start the fourth quarter right here. So Spanish Fork got the stop. A 3, they could cut it down to 9. A 2, they could be back to 10.
I bet they try and push the ball into Dunn.
Around the screen, Weeks pull-up, jump shot good. Nice shot there for the 6'1 senior guard.
Yeah, Weeks with 7 points as he's starting to climb up in the point getting.
Here's Robinson, number 11, with the basketball over to Brogan Miles. Miles guarded by Brock Jacobson. Miles pulls it out. Here's a 3. Robinson can't get it to go. Rebound pulled down by Weeks. He's dribbling around the back right there, looking inside, finding Beckstead. Beckstead's pass goes back out to Weeks. Drive, left hand, off the glass, and good for Austin Weeks.
Weeks is getting better as the game goes on. Definitely with some great moves in this game.
The lead back to single digits for Maple Mountain. Here's Brogan Miles, right hand up and good, as he somehow gets that up and around, or somehow around Brock Jacobson. Leatherwood pops a 3 on the other end. That one's off.
10-point lead. If you're Maple Mountain, you can slow it down, maybe use a timeout.
Timeout called by head coach Johnny Averett. 55-45, 6:29 to play here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a moment here on Spanish Fork 17 to thank our sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We have Triple T Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance, and Two Jacks Pizza, and along with MVP Sports, who is moving their location starting January the 8th on Monday. They'll be in over on 900 East here in Spanish Fork. So
900 North.
900 North. Sorry, I was a little off there.
82 East, 900 North. Yeah, it's pretty nice how they have the addresses here. You go to other cities and you're like, thank goodness they invented Google Maps and all the other map apps, because I don't know how people did it 30 years ago.
I grew up in Oregon and they don't have the grid system, so I had to learn streets. First time I had kind of a grid-like system, Chris, Tulsa, Oklahoma is on a grid.
There you go.
And I loved it. Every second of it was great to try to find where to go. Here's Brogan Miles, number 2 with the basketball. Here's Carlisle with it, number 11, double teamed. And that one's almost thrown away. In fact, Maple Mountain, I think, maybe just needs to dribble it out of pressure. Here, Miles into the corner. Robeson thought about it, steps back. 11 to plenty of time here, 9 to shoot.
Spanish Fork's going to be worn out after this defensive possession.
Turnover and a travel, and really, if you're Maple Mountain, that probably would have been the time just to kind of pull it out and kind of reset everything.
Yeah, but Maple Mountain did a good job of not turning it over until that travel, honestly.
Don's basketball. Here's Weeks, number 2 with it. In the high post, Ethan Beckstead. Weeks takes a 3, and that one was short, hit the front part of the rim, as Maple Mountain will dribble onto the front court with Brogan Miles.
That was a big shot missed there.
Robeson hits a 3 on the other end, and that pushes the lead back to 13 for Maple Mountain.
And Robeson with his first bucket of the game.
Reverse layup good for Aaron Dunn. Dunn's one of those players that he's going to get his points, but you just have to you want to contain him and make.
You want him to get 15, 16 rather than 30.
Brogan Miles with the basketball, guarded by Brock Jacobson very heavily. Miles back to the left hand, nothing there. Here's Easton Merrill. Down the lane, Colton Marker. 3 on the way there from Merrill is good.
And that's been the difference in this second half. We had a really close first half, but Maple Mountain is hitting the 3 with high efficiency.
61-47, Maple Mountain. Jump shot short by Weeks. Dunn gets the rebound, gets the basket and the foul. So he'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
Yeah, we'll be a little nicer to Austin Weeks. We'll give him a State Farm assist there. Lance Wilson State Farm Insurance. Give them a call for all your insurance needs.
So Dunn ready to go here to make this a 3-point play. Maple Mountain making a couple of changes here. .446 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And what an exciting night of high school basketball we've had here on Channel 17 with both the girls game and now this doubleheader with the boys. It's been a lot of energy here at La Hacienda.
Timeout called by Spanish Fork here with 4:46 to play. And Chris, we talked about the RPI earlier. When you take a look at a game like this, it's easy to kind of look at it and say, hey, this may not have a lot of implications down the stretch, but you just never know, because Spanish Fork pulls off a couple wins, all of a sudden 22 becomes 16, comes 15, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
And with that, in this kind of wide open region that Region 7 is going to be, there's a lot of options here for a lot of teams.
What's interesting is Maple Mountain played 5A football. Spanish Fork played 4A football, and then other sports are playing 5A for Spanish Fork. So it's bizarre that how the regions work. But anyways, for Spanish Fork, they've struggled the last few seasons. They got to figure out how to get this program going back in a winning direction. I think Coach Garrett Johnson's trying his hardest, and he's got some tools out there, especially with Aaron Dunn coming back next season. So for Spanish Fork, yeah, you got to figure out how to get some wins. Possibly you can get into, I believe, the top 16. You might be able to get that home game. I'm assuming 24 teams makes the playoffs like last year, but I'll have to look that up. We'll have that ready for you when Salem Hills flies into La Hacienda.
That'll be next Friday night here on Spanish Fork 17, a 7 o'clock tip as Easton Merrill goes to the basket. Left hand gets the roll.
That was nasty, but in a good way.
And a lead back to 13, 63-50.
Yeah, Easton Merrill has 15. Everett, number 3's got 19.
Leatherwood, kind of a fadeaway jump shot look. That one doesn't go. Rebound hauled in by Peterson. Here's Brogan Miles across the timeline. Steps down the key, looks back door. Couldn't get a very clean pass off just because of the strong Spanish Fork defense. Jump ball, possession arrow to the Dons.
Yeah.
63-50. 4:02 to play here in the fourth quarter. Still time for Spanish Fork to make this one interesting, but they need a run, and they really need it probably in the next minute. Here's Brock Jacobson. That one rolls off the rim. Rebound tipped around and pulled in by Matt Peterson. Back the other way. Inside going up. And it's going to be a foul, and that's going to be a foul, I think, on Leatherwood.
Just the first foul on Leatherwood, and amazingly enough, a first foul of the quarter. Last quarter, we had no problem getting into the bonus shooting situation. In this quarter, it's been all finesse.
Bennett Averett hits the first, as we'll see Ryan Olson come back in for Brock Jacobson. Maple Mountain in the all black, Spanish Fork and the white. Dons across the chest. Second free throw is good. It's a 15-point lead for Maple Mountain, 65-50.
Yeah, both teams have pretty good looking uniforms, but man, that Maple on Maple Mountain reminds me of Hickory High. I don't know, childhood cinema movies.
That's a three. That one's good for Gage Christensen.
He's got 17.
He's
got 5 threes.
He's had a nice shooting game. It was Spanish Fork in that first quarter. They got off to a very comfortable lead before Maple Mountain started closing the gap. Here's Carlisle in the corner. He puts it on the floor, kicks it back out. Bennett Averett for three. That one doesn't go. The rebound's going to be touched. Last touch, they're going to say it by Spanish Fork, and it will go to Maple Mountain. A fresh 35 on the shot clock after the reset when it hit the rim. Here's Easton Merrill. Three for Matt Peterson on its way. That one doesn't go as the rebound is pulled down by Gage Christensen. Leatherwood with it on the perimeter. Cross-court pass to Beckstead. Baseline drive, reverse layup is up, and they're going to say it went out of bounds. They're going to say
it hit the shot clock maybe?
And then that's what the official pointed like to the top of the backboard. The challenging part here is not to feel too urgent, but it's hard not to, down 12 with 2:37 to go.
Yeah, for sure, and really Maple Mountain can use a bunch of time, take some time off.
That one's stolen away. Here's Landon Leatherwood with the steal.
And that's not what you wanted to do if you're Maple Mountain.
Leatherwood pops a three and got it. Big three right there. Timeout called by, I believe that was going to be Maple Mountain. Johnny Averett calling. Sorry, no, it was Spanish Fork calling timeout with 2:22 to go. But you're back within 9 if you're Spanish Fork. You force a couple steals, Chris, you never know what can happen at this point. But right now, Garrett Johnson's got some work cut out for him here in the next 2:22. And especially to get Maple Mountain to the foul line, Chris, they still need to foul him 4 times.
Yeah, for sure. So you can tell your team, hey, if you don't have foul trouble, you can be a little aggressive in case we need those fouls, especially if it leads to a turnover and a bucket. But Spanish Fork's going to have to get some stops, and they're going to have to hit some big buckets. But a lot to overcome. If you're Maple Mountain, be smart with that basketball. Don't turn it over. Use up the shot clock. Get a good shot, and you should be able to go home with a victory. It sounds so obvious at times, but some of these games end in such a crazy manner.
You just never know what's going to happen right here with Easton Merrill dribbles that one into the key, now sends it back out. Here's Bennett Averett, number 3, guarded by Aaron Dunn. This is a mismatch favoring Maple Mountain.
I like this matchup.
Averett with the basketball, almost lost it. It goes out of bounds. It's going to go last touch. They're going to say by Landon Leatherwood, and it's going to stay here with Maple Mountain.
Plenty of time on the shot clock, 17 seconds here for Maple Mountain, so you don't have to rush.
Brogan Miles to inbound. Dangerous pass, gets it to Merrill underneath the basket. Here's Brogan Miles, the point guard, with it, number 2, goes inside, off the glass, count the basket, and the foul.
He's got 12 with that, can make it up to 13 with this free throw.
Ryan Olson, the guilty party, picking up his 3rd, 2nd team foul. As Miles here at the free throw line. That one misses, long iron, rebound pulled down by Matt Peterson. Miles splits the defense, goes off the glass for two with the right hand.
Yeah, great job by Miles extending the lead here. 13-144 to go. It's pretty much looking bleak.
Ryan Olson with the basketball, number 5. And there he just kind of loses it, but I think they're going to get a Maple Mountain foul.
I think it'll be on Everett, his first.
It's going to go against Brogan Miles.
Where's my whiteout?
That's why you never keep the scorebook and pen, Chris.
Yeah, that's true.
Minute 33 to go. Inside, here's Aaron Dunn. Double team, loses the ball. Brogan Miles comes away with it. Up ahead to Easton Merrill. Merrill goes up strong off the glass, and he'll get a pair of free throws here with a foul coming in. I believe that was Ryan Olson.
If it is, I think it's his 4th.
And it will be Olson, and it is his 4th.
But great take by Easton Merrill. He's got the lane, got a good lane to the hoop. Might as well take it. So this one's pretty much out of reach.
70-56 with a minute 24 to play here in the fourth quarter. Merrill back, ready for his second. And this one is good. 71-56, Maple Mountain. Leatherwood brings it into the front court. Drives towards the basket, off the glass, gets the roll. A nice basket there, a tough finish for Leatherwood. Maple Mountain right back the other way, and Merrill with the ball kind of slipped as he went up for the dunk.
He threw it in and he hung on the rim, but the basket's shaking, so we'll give him the dunk.
There it is, and so Dunn sends it out in the corner. A 3 is short, rebound pulled down. Maple Mountain not slowing down. Here's a layup for Bennett Averett.
He got fouled.
A lot of contact there, no call as Spanish Fork hurries. 44 seconds to play.
Averett's got 21.
Olson there almost throws it away, and they're going to get a foul on Justin Carlisle. Some body contact there with Ryan Olson.
That's his second.
And now we'll have a couple of subs coming in. Maple Mountain will do a line change as Spanish Fork Isaac Mitchell will come in. For Maple Mountain, Elijah Lilliard, number 31. Number 13, Tice Evans. Looking else here, I think that's 20, Zach Allen. Number 5, Derek Morehouse.
Yeah, save some of those guys for Orem as Dunn travels, but they give him the bucket.
So there's a bucket right there for Maple Mountain, for Spanish Fork. As Zach Allen has it. Into the post, back out to Allen. He'll pull up, jump shot is long. Leatherwood pulls the rebound. 17 seconds to play. 13-point lead, spins, Leatherwood good. Nice job there, good finish to get it back to 11.
And Leatherwood has 11 as he's gotten double digits, and Maple Mountain can dribble it out, take an 11-point lead. 11-point win, I should say.
So Maple Mountain will win this one, 73-62. The Golden Eagles on the year improved to 6-4. They are 1-0 now in they are 1-0 in region play. Spanish Fork falls to 3-7 overall, 0-1 in Region 7. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll have some final thoughts. We'll have our MVP Sports, MVP of the game. You're watching high school basketball on Spanish Fork 17.
If you're looking for a workout, you know MVP Sports is the place to start, and that includes pickleball. MVP Sports has all you need to get active in this growing sport. Paddles, shoes, clothing, and the pickleballs. MVP Sports in Spanish Fork.
The best time to check your furnace is before it fails, and you can rely on Triple T to do the job right. Our technicians are trained every year so you can sleep better at night, knowing your furnace is safe to operate. Call Triple T at 798-7711 to schedule your tune-up today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
Contact State Farm agent Lance Wilson today.
Hi, welcome to Two Jacks Pizza.
For the best pizza you'll ever taste and our world-famous cheese sticks, come to Two Jacks Pizza on Main Street in Spanish Fork or call us for a quick delivery. Are you hungry yet?
Well, a final here tonight from Spanish Fork, 73-62, Maple Mountain over crosstown rival Spanish Fork. Ryan Pickens and Chris Hurst here. And Chris, this was a game early on where Spanish Fork in that first quarter not just had the lead, but had the momentum. And it looked like this game was going to be maybe tough on Maple Mountain. And it was a tough game for both teams, but Maple Mountain, at the end of the day, they made a couple of those big runs to kind of stretch the lead from being a close game and just kind of kept adding to it.
Well, and Maple Mountain got hot from behind the three-point line, and especially in that second quarter. But, credit Spanish Fork. They were down by 12. They made a run to get that to the end, to 12 by the end of the third quarter, and they were able to put up 21 points in that fourth quarter, maybe to give them some momentum heading into Friday where they're at Orem.
I mean, that's going to be a tough one for Maple Mountain. Orem having a win over one of their preseason tournaments this year. They had a win against a very good out-of-state team with that, who I believe has received some national ranking votes. So it's not going to be an easy one for Maple Mountain by any means. But when you take a look at it here for Spanish Fork, it was Aaron Dunn who had a great ball game. But Chris, when you take a look at it, they need to find another scorer outside of Aaron Dunn. They may have done that tonight in Gage Christensen.
Yeah, Gage Christensen hit 5 threes, ends up with 17 points. Dunn also had 21. But we're going to give Gage Christensen for his hot shooting outside our MVP player of the game for Spanish Fork.
We turn that over on to Maple Mountain. And we talked about kind of their three-headed monster in the pregame. 3 guys coming in scoring double digits. And whenever you go to the bench, you want to have a player who steps up and plays significant minutes. Well, tonight they got that from Easton Merrill. Chris, anytime you get double digits off your bench, you'll take that, much less the game that Easton Merrill had.
And Easton Merrill did a great job of closing this game out. He had 9 points in the fourth quarter. He ends up with 19. He's going to go to MVP Sports at 82 East, 900 North, I think, when it opens up on January 8th, because he's our MVP of the game, sponsored by MVP Sports.
It's a great opportunity right there. A nice job by both teams tonight. Both teams played hard, but just the small differences started to add up. Those runs from Maple Mountain and the outside shots. The next broadcast coming up here on Spanish Fork 17 is going to be a good one. Spanish Fork back here at home next Friday night, 7 p.m. tip-off. Salem Hills comes in. That's always going to be a tough game. The Skyhawks are a very well-coached team. And, Chris, I mean, we talked about the consistent scoring. They're going to need Dunn, Christensen, maybe plus another to really step up.
Well, Austin Weeks, Leatherwood, really any successful high school basketball team usually has a star that gets the most points, and then 3 or 4 guys that can get you 10, 12 when you need them as a counterpart. So we'll have to see, because Spanish Fork's definitely got part of that formula with Dunn. He just needs some support from some other guys if Spanish Fork's going to make a run in this Region 7 play. It is Region 7, isn't it?
So we'll take a look here with that one next Friday night coming up. It was a good one here tonight. Maple Mountain comes out on top of Spanish Fork. For my partner Chris Hurst, our entire Spanish Fork Community Network sports team, I'm Ryan Pickens saying so long tonight from La Hacienda, where Maple Mountain comes out on top 73-62. You've been watching High School Hoops on Spanish Fork 17.